Welcome to Will It Work? I am Kevin. Today we're looking at the Evercade. Evercade is kind of an interesting retro console. While the rest of the Chinese market is flooding all kinds of clone systems to Amazon, eBay, etc., Evercade is actually officially licensing the titles for their units. And what they do is they sell a collection of games. Here we can see like 3 different packs that come in the box up here. And they contain a number of games depending on which collection you purchase. One thing that's kind of nice about what they're doing is that they aren't just giving you the common, most popular ones. They're also trying to throw in some rare ones that you don't necessarily see often in, typically not in the piracy scene, since those sorts of things float around everywhere, but more along the lines of, when they sell those CDs or now online things where you can play classic games, etc. A lot of these don't end up being there. So we have an example here of the Evercade of a package of titles. The Data East one comes with Burger Time, Magical Drop 2, Bad Dudes, Midnight Resistance, Side Pocket, Joe and Mac 2, Burnin' Rubber, Karate Champ, Fighter History, and 2 Crude Dudes. And then there's an Interplay collection, which is Earthworm Jim, Clay Fighter, Boogerman, Battle Chest, Incantation, and Titan. And then, of course, with Atari, you get the Centipede, Adventure, Alien Brigade for the 7800. It's unusual. Asteroid, Missile Command, Crystal Castles, Food Fight, Desert Falcon, Motor Psycho, Cannon Bomber, Gravatar, Double Dunk, Ninja Golf, Steeplechase, Night Driver, Tempest, Video Pinball, Aquaventure, Yar's Return, and Sword Quest. So, and there may be more, I'm not sure. But there's 36 games in this pack, and it basically comes with this handheld unit here, and the game packs, as mentioned, and they're each on a cartridge, and you will insert the cartridge. Now, Evercade, I have heard, I'm not sure, but I heard that they had some sort of first system that was something other than this handheld, but I'm not too sure about that. It seems like they started with the handheld, and now they're coming out with a console that kind of reflects almost like an NES. It'll take 2 cartridges at once, so you can have a lot more games, on it. And there's a lot of packs that you can buy for both systems. I think there's around a dozen different cartridges at this point. Now this system is based out of the UK. It's fairly easy to get a hold of, but some of the cartridge packs are maybe a little bit more difficult in the United States to get a hold of without paying a lot of money. For instance, there's a Namco pack, and that hasn't been authorized for sale in the United States. So if you want it, you've got to import it from somewhere, if you can find it. And it is evercade.co.uk. So this isn't opened, and I'm not going to open it. That's kind of what we do here. We're just seeing if they work, and since I know it's new and it hasn't been opened, it's probably not a box of bricks. It's going to stay sealed, even though it is a clone system. But at the same time, I have, as we know, many clone systems. So if I wanted to play any of these games, I'm sure I have access to them on those other clone systems. But I do appreciate the fact that Evercade is giving you a unit here with 3 game packs for less than $100 in a lot of cases. And the game packs themselves are relatively inexpensive for the number of games you get on them. Are they free like you can find on the internet if you're pirating? No. Right? But at the same time, if you want to give back a little bit and have something a little bit more dedicated, this is a nice way to at least do some throwback gaming. And it's maybe not at the Polymega stage, but still pretty cool. I also think at this point in this doing this series of videos, I'm now at probably about 100 videos, give or take one or two. It sort of depends on when I release this one. Like I sort of stagger them out so you don't see like 7 Pong systems in a row and that kind of thing, so I sort of break it up. But I believe I've done about 100 so far out of my collection. You might be wondering, like, how many more consoles can one guy have? Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna do another 100 easy, and then it's gonna start to taper off. I think maybe we get to like somewhere between 320 or 220 to 250 units, depending. You know, I buy new ones here and there when it strikes me, and lately it's struck me a little bit more since I've been doing this, and I've been trying to fill in some gaps. But overall, yeah, we still got a ways to go yet in this. And I did go online and I looked around for other console collections, and I don't really find anybody that has a collection of individual consoles at the size that mine is. It's not saying they're not out there. You could probably find a couple enthusiasts like myself. Game console collecting is a thing. It's just that I don't see proof of them online, you know. I have seen the people that collect games, thousands and thousands of games. But in terms of consoles, you'll see that one guy that has like 8 or 9 Xbox 360s or something, you know, or 10 different kinds of N64s, etc. Like, but in terms of like unique systems, I still haven't seen anybody that has a larger collection than my own. But again, I do believe they are out there. It's just that, yeah, it's not as common as game collecting. Although game collecting, I don't know, like having the most games isn't necessarily that great of a feat. Simply because like there's a lot of shovelware. Like, you know, at some point you can buy like Wii titles for $1 each or something, or 50 cents a piece, or get them at a quarter, or buy them in a lot. You know, but buy a big case of them. You know, you can buy all old sports games, you know, for next to nothing, you know, year on year, collecting all those titles and getting all the discount titles and the low grade titles. You could just end up with, you know, tens of thousands of games. You know, just imagine how many PC games you could get. You know, it just seems like there would be a staggering amount, or original Game Boy games, etc. Now, if you want nice ones that are in the box and sealed and all that kind of stuff, that's a different thing. But if you're just counting like raw numbers of like, you know, games that you happen to own, I don't know. I mean, it's against Book of World Records for it, you know, that kind of thing. And some guys have some really nice collections. If you go online and search, you can see different guys that, you know, people build arcades in their own house, and they have all of their cartridges on, you know, in man cave type libraries where you can see all the different you know, setups and everything that people have, and then you see a lot of different consoles and things. It's pretty nice, actually. There's a lot of good stuff out there. It's kind of hard to do, like, can't really put like 250 consoles on display. I mean, you could, but it's going to take up every wall in your house. I think it's a massive collection. I mean, they're all large and ungainly. So you would have to probably rent out some sort of like warehouse or something in order to like properly display them in some sort of museum or something at some point. I don't know. And then you got to worry about security because somebody might try to break in and steal your Odyssey or something. No idea. Anyway, didn't mean to ramble on, but Evercade, pretty cool. Haven't tried it, but it's pretty cool. Thanks for watching. Let's see what else we got.